So I'm going to go ahead and start recording. Thank you to everyone for jumping on tonight's call, especially if you're new. I see some new faces on here. That means a lot. That says a lot about who you are. You know, you're someone who shows up. You're here to learn and absorb. That's awesome. So I really appreciate you taking time out of your night to show up. It means a lot to me. So I'm going to introduce myself a little bit in case any of you don't know me. And yeah, and we'll go from there. So my name is Alexis Olson. I have been a team Beachbody coach for 2 years now, for 2.5 years. And I am a diamond coach. Hey, girl. You're like, I didn't expect to see anyone. So if you can mute yourself, that'd be cool. Let's see, mute. Anyway, so I've been I am a diamond coach, and I've been on Team Set Your Soul on Fire for like 2.5 years now. This is like what coaches do when they introduce themselves. So I was a success starter. So if you don't know what a success starter is, I earned my free ticket to Summit, which is the yearly event that Beachbody does. Nicole remembers it from Nashville when we were in town, right? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
We like shut down Nashville. Yeah.
Okay.
We like shut down Nashville. So Beachbody, we used to do Summit every year in Vegas, and our contract with the MGM hotel expired, and we really just outgrew Vegas. And plus, Carl Deichler, our CEO, his wife wasn't too fond of Vegas. I mean, it's not really the best place for like health coaches to powwow together. So we decided to move it to Nashville. I guess that could facilitate us a little bit better. So anyway, I was a success starter, which if you don't know what that is and you're a new coach, it's basically just helping 9 people in your first full 90 days as a coach. So, 90 days, say you signed up April 6th. So your full month doesn't start until May. So you have May, June, July to help 9 people, and it has to be a minimum of 3 each month. Get started on a challenge pack, and you can earn your free ticket to Nashville next year. So, and everything that I talk about, we'll do like a post-call discussion, and I'll post links and stuff like that. But so I was a success starter my first 3 months. I'm a Success Club All-Star, which means I've consecutively helped at least 3 people every single month get started on their fitness journey with a challenge pack for the last 15 months now. So yeah, that's really cool. And then I've also earned a completely free, all-inclusive trip to Jamaica and the Bahamas on the Beachbody Success Club cruise. So we have a Success Club trip every single year, which you guys can work towards just by doing your job. It's just like a perk, just by helping people, you can go to the Dominican Republic next year for free. You just have to earn it through helping people. So the reason I talk about that, and it's kind of weird to talk about myself in that way because it's just odd. But the reason I do that is because I want people to know like what you can do. I consider myself a pretty normal person. I don't have any really special abilities in anything really. So yeah, so that's a little bit about me. Tonight I just wanted to go over, a lot of you are new, so I wanted to talk about, being that I've been a coach for 2 years, I kind of have like, I know what to expect, with each season. I know what's coming and what how I can anticipate these changes in the business. So where are we at? We just ended the first quarter of the year. So I can't, we're already in the second quarter, which is insane. We still have a very full year left to live and to grow. So here's some things that you can expect. Let's see, we just came out with a new program, 22-minute hard corps. Beachbody comes out with a new program probably every 4 months or so, 4 to 6 months. So we're coming up on summer. So this is a really crucial time for your business, because if you're interested in like working your business and helping people, then this is really the time to kind of get the ball rolling and get a solid foundation built for yourself. And that way, when you go into summer, you're set up, you're set up. And the way that this works is it's very different. You kind of have to change your mindset. It's very different than being an employee. And I never had any entrepreneurial like skills before this. So I really had to like work on my mindset and do a lot of personal development to like think differently. But the way that this works is it's not, you aren't getting paid for the hour, right? We're all here based on how much effort we put in. So it's doing just like little things every single day will grow your paycheck. So the way that Beachbody measures success is like whether you're moving forward or not is through Success Club. So if you're helping, and I know Kaylin, that's how you say your name, right? Okay. And I know Kaylin's really good at this. She's a new coach. She's just focusing, hitting Success Club, forgetting about the rest, just doing the 3 vital behaviors every day. And just doing that over and over again is, she's going to look back a year from now and her life's going to be completely different. She'll have built an income. She'll have grown as a person, because you can't really grow a team unless you're growing individually, which is what I think is really rad about what we're doing here. So that's just a little bit about a little gist of how it works. But I wanted to ask you guys, before I just talk at you, is there anything, what questions do you have? Like, what do you want me to talk about? Because I know a lot of you might only be a day or two into this.
Where do you get like people besides social media?
So that's a good question. Everyone's different. The first thing I heard when I signed up as a coach was that there are infinite amounts of people on the internet, and there are. So you'll never have a shortage of people. When I first started as a coach, I was like just getting sober. So I didn't have like a warm market. Like you see these people, there's some really successful coaches that come out of the gate and they have like 10 years of like yogi contacts, or, depending what industry they're in, like they have different things going for them. I didn't have anything going for me. I had barely just reactivated my Facebook. So it was basically starting with nothing. And for me personally, like I don't know, to get myself out of where I was, it just made sense to like start helping people, even though I wasn't exactly like perfect or healed from all the crap that I had been going through. I just really felt called to like, let's do this together. Like, let's start this. And so in doing that, like, it was just really clear for me, like who I wanted to help, and so I just started making friends, and now it's natural for me. I'm like, it's fun for me. And so if some people are like, I don't like how it's all social media, like I don't like how I have to sell stuff, it's like I've never felt icky about it because I don't make it icky. And like every week, you guys, I meet up with some chick that I met off Facebook. Like if you guys lived here, we would hang out. But like I meet local people, like just girls who want to go like run the stairs downtown, or maybe they want me to try like some kind of class with them, or maybe I'll go running, or I live right next to this butte that we can hike, and maybe I'll invite them to go hike. So you kind of have to, so I do all of mine on social media, but I don't limit myself to that. I think it's just the easiest and best thing to take advantage of, since, we're on it and you don't have to really go anywhere to find the people. But I don't limit myself. Like, and Amy always says this, like in her first 2 years of when she was starting her business, if anyone came in like 3 feet of her, she would talk to them. And it doesn't have to be about Beachbody. Like, just like, we're humans and we kind of forget that, like the whole connectiveness that we've really lost. Connectedness. I'm really delirious right now, so if I say it's weird, just know that I'm running on little sleep. But like something cool, like there's a girl at the little human being like coffee hut. I was trying to see if she's on here, and I didn't even need to. I had no intention of like selling her anything, but or, getting her on a challenge pack. But she was like, I started talking to her. She's like, oh, what are you doing? I was like, I'm just going back to work. And she's like, what do you do? And the thing I did as a new coach is you guys can start taking ownership and just acting as if, tell people you're a fitness coach, whatever you want to call yourself. I'm a lifestyle coach. I run fitness challenges. I always say I'm a health and fitness coach, or I'm a lifestyle coach, or my new thing is I coach women on how to be confident and get everything that they want and change their lives. So I started saying that when I was like a coach for like a week or 2 weeks, and I was like struggling with a lot of crap. Like, I hadn't helped anyone. I didn't know what I was doing, but I just started, I wouldn't even tell people what I did for my day job because my mind wasn't really there anymore. I was just like, this is what I'm doing. And then all of a sudden, like, people start to like think of you that way. So anyway, the girl at the coffee shop, hey, what do you do? I was like, oh, I'm a health and fitness coach. I work for myself. So I'm just going back home to work. And she's like, oh, that's really cool. Like, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, I'm actually going on a cruise in like a week. And she's like, really? I'm like, yeah. She's like, well, I really want to. And she starts telling me her goals. And I was like, cool, well, what's your phone? And I gave her my phone, and I was like, you should add me on Facebook. So I made her search for herself and add herself on my Facebook. And then I messaged her, and we started talking, and she's like, yeah, what are you doing? Like, I want to do it. So I sent her the link. This like never happens. This is really rare. And I sent her a link. And she got a challenge pack like 10 minutes later. I was like, I'm going to go hit up all the coffee shops. So, it's just like be a people person. And even if the thing is too, that's fun about this is even if you don't like sell anything to them, like you're making friends and you're expanding your network, and adding value and just being nice to people is never going to be wasted. It's never going to be a waste of your time. So that was a long answer, but does that help?
Yeah.
It helps? Okay. Do you have any other questions about that, like where I find people?
I'm like trying to, can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I've never used this before. No, I mean, it can kind of seem like you're selling stuff, like you never did, because I kind of like asked you a question to begin with, but I don't know. That's why I'm like turned off from being an actual coach, because I want to be like a team member, but like the coach part, I'm kind of still like iffy because I don't want to be pushy. But I don't know. Does Beachbody like send people your way too if they buy Shakeology online? Is there like something that happens?
Yeah. Okay.
Somehow you like email and you can like hit them up, because I know I bought Shakeology offline and I got like someone emailed me from Beachbody, but it just sounded so automated and I wasn't into it, so I just kind of
yeah. So that's a good question. So I know. Sorry, it says my internet's unstable. I hope I'm not choppy. But when I signed up as a coach, I was kind of like talked into it. And I was 19 when I signed up. So I was like, yeah, let's do it. This is like cool. Like, and now I could live off of it. But so the way that, okay, so you don't want to sell people. I
mean, I guess you just kind of like get it within time.
Yeah, so what I was going to say is I didn't really know that I wanted to work the business. So that wasn't like in the forefront of my mind. I really signed up to become a coach. Can you guys all hear me? Because you're all frozen.
Yeah, they all have like little things next to their names.
Okay, I think it's working now.
I don't know.
Brittany, am I choppy?
hear them.
Yeah,
But
you're a little choppy.
There she is.
You can mute yourself and stuff on here.
You're all like one at a time, like saying stuff, and I'm like, oh, what?
Oh, yeah, I like didn't understand what was going on.
Okay, back to, I didn't know what the hell happened, and I all of a sudden was a coach. So I signed up because I wanted to save 25% off of Shakeology.
Right.
Like, that was my thing. And so I didn't even know I wanted to be a coach, but I did love helping people. And I was always like overly sharing about my life on social media anyway, like about my struggles and stuff. So it just seemed really natural. And, you know, I've never felt like I really had to talk anyone into doing this. Like, I work with people that want to do it. And so I guess it's just easy for me because I like know what kind of girl I want to help. But yeah, they do have a lead program. So one of your guys' first goals in your first 30 days as a coach is to, one, make $100. That way you can cover your cost of Shakeology. And how you do that, I can tell you how you do it. But once, you know, you help 3 people and then you get to Emerald. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with Emerald. Kaylin can tell you about it after the call if you're on her team. But it's just signing up 2 coaches under you. So I don't know how many coaches we have in Team Hear Me. We're like 60 almost. Those aren't my personally sponsored. But so if you get to Emerald, so if you want free leads, if you want Beachbody to just like send people your way, then just sign 2 people up under you. Could be your brother. Like, my boyfriend's a coach under me. He doesn't do anything, but he's a coach. You know, I got my mom on there, some of my challengers, and what they'll do. So that's the first step. You get to Emerald, and then you have to hit Success Club 5. So if you help 3 people, if you sell 3 challenge packs in a month as an Emerald, they'll give you leads. So there's a place to go in your office.
Okay.
And they'll give you those people to go talk to. Like, and they're people that have bought stuff off the website.
Yeah, because I definitely have got an email and I was like, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. And so you can reach out to them and you can say whatever you want. And I usually am like, hey, you've been assigned to me, you know, and I usually send the link to our wellness group. That way, if they don't like want to talk to this stranger, they could like look at the group and maybe send a request to the group. And I've had them do that before. So that's another perk of getting to Emerald, is that you'll get free lead, or you'll get customer leads. And if you hit Success Club 10, so Kaylin is Emerald and she's at Success Club 10. So what she's going to get this next month is, for the work she's done this month, is she'll get free paid leads. So Beachbody will give her leads with people that have already bought and stuff, and give her the commission for it for free. So she didn't have to do anything.
Okay.
Do them or anything. I mean, she can. And you should, because who knows, maybe they might want to sign up as a coach, or maybe they don't have an accountability group. So there's perks like that. Okay. Does anyone else have any questions?
You know, Sam looks really lost.
You're lost?
Sam looks lost. I'm not lost.
Or
this
Sam.
is Sam's
Sam.
first meeting ever.
I thought you were going to say Amber. I'm like, Amber does look lost.
No.
I'm kidding.
She's not even on video right now.
Like, her expression has not changed. Just messing with you. Yeah. Do you have any questions, Sam? Not yet. So, yeah, I mean, Beachbody's really changed my life, if you guys want to hear about that. It's just been really rad. You know, I've really got to grow as a person, and I'm really grateful for who I am today. And it's to me, it doesn't matter. It's not about the Shakeology and the fitness program. Like, I would be taking care of myself anyway and like eating healthy anyway. But the cool thing is that I've had a platform where I could like spend time investing in myself as a human, and not just like my physical stuff, but like I needed to work on a lot of things. I think we all do. And the thing that I've realized as an adult is, you know, we go through our whole lives growing like automatically. And so when we hit adulthood, we think that that keeps happening, that we just grow automatically. But the thing is it doesn't. And you guys probably notice this on social media. You see people's Facebook statuses and you're like, this person's like still stuck in high school. You know, like they're complaining about low energy stuff. And it's just like, oh my God. So, but I mean, and even I can be like that sometimes. Like, I know that there's no end to it. You know, you never like arrive somewhere. And so what I think is really rad is that, you know, I've realized that you have to be very intentional about your growth. And I've been able to do that, and I've been able to improve my relationships. And, you know, I've had really unhealthy ones and very, you know, just destructive, you know, self-destructive and destructive relationships. And now I have a really healthy one of someone who shares like all the common things that I'm really into now, which is like taking care of myself, and someone who's really positive, and like that I'm really thankful for. You know, I don't struggle with like things. I wanted to talk about anxiety a little bit. I don't know why, but I feel like I was talking to this woman today, and she's a business owner too, and she made a really good, she owns a cleaning company. And so I always like talking to her because she's, you know, she deals with the same kind of stuff, like team building and business. It's the same thing. And she was talking to me about how, like, excuses. So that we were talking about the excuses we hear from people on our teams or crew or whatever. And we both had heard the same excuses from people. And it's always like, you know, I have family stuff going. I mean, granted, like, I'm not putting down that kind of stuff, but, you know, I got family stuff going on, or like my dog died, or I have anxiety disorder, or I have depression. And I used to like tell those things to my coach, because I had those things, you know, like actually not self-diagnosed, like I had those things. But we were talking about it, and she's like, what people don't realize in our generation or these days is that like feeling anxious when like something happens, or like you're really nervous about something, like she was telling me this one girl had to go back to a job to like redo it because she did a really crappy job. And she was like, oh my God, my anxiety, like I'm really nervous to go back to this job. And she was like, you should be, like, you don't have anxiety disorder. Like, that is a very normal response to this situation. You did a bad job, you messed up. Like, and so I just thought that was like such a good reminder. Even for in my life when things happen, it's like, you know, no, I don't have, like, there's nothing wrong with me. I'm not going to hide behind a label. Like, I'm just reacting to something properly. And so even if something's uncomfortable, it doesn't mean something's wrong with you necessarily. So, and I found that the thing that makes it hardest for people, and I don't judge anyone, you know, like if you know what you want in your life, and, you know, if you, and how you want to feel and where you want to be, or you want to be like a certain person you look up to in this company, or someone else that you admire that's not in this company, then this avenue could get you there, and it could get you a lot of things. But at the same time, you know, if those aren't your goals, then like whatever. But if they are, the thing that takes people out the most is they're not willing to face themselves, so much so that they don't even realize it. But they sign up as a coach, and then they realize this is all about facing yourself and showing up for yourself. And that's all it is. And people try to overcomplicate it. It's just working out and facing yourself and helping people. That's all it is. And I thought about that, like I was in a hot yoga class like a couple of years ago, and she said to us, she's like a Bikram class, and she's like, I just want to thank all of you for showing up and facing yourself in the mirror today, because that's what you do when you come to class. And I was like, that's true. Like, because sometimes it is hard to show up to a Bikram class and like stare at yourself in the mirror for 90 minutes. And it is a big deal that you can do that. And so I feel like we can do that in our lives every single day. And sometimes it's really hard, but it doesn't mean you have to like quit and like give up everything that's happening just because you like don't feel comfortable for a minute. So just wanted to share that. Yeah, so I don't know what your guys' goals are, but if you're serious about building this business, then I would give it your all and do it, because I've just been able to like meet a lot of cool chicks like on Team Set Your Soul on Fire, and experience a lot of things and become a people person and like put myself in uncomfortable situations. Like I'm meeting up with a girl next week to go on like a 5-mile run. And I'm like, why would I agree to that? I'm not really a runner, but I'm like, the more situations I can put myself in like that, then I can become better. And that's all it is. So, so the first thing that I would do is, here's the most important things. When it comes down to it, it's all about keeping things simple. And I like to break things down into steps. So 1, show up to stuff like this, show up to team calls, because a lot of the times you'll be like doing the work, and you'll be inviting, and you'll be doing your workouts and reading personal development, but you might hear something on one of these calls that you're like, okay, like that's it. I needed to hear that. And then you use it. And that's what these calls and Team Set Your Soul on Fire, and listening to the National Wake Up Call every Monday have done for me. And I don't ever miss them. Sometimes I don't wake up at 8 a.m. every Monday to listen to the National Wake Up Call. Sometimes I have to Pacific time. Sometimes I have to listen to the recording. But I've listened to that call and the Set Your Soul on Fire call every single week for 2 years. And it's like reading the newspaper for me. And I don't believe in that, because I think that's negative. But, it's like my daily dose of like, I use that in all areas of my life. Like I hear something and it's usually really inspiring, and I can apply it to my life, where it's very humbling, to look at yourself and be like, oh, I was really doing that wrong. Or, I'm going to try to do that in my challenge groups. And so it's just going to give you a ton of nuggets to take and to roll with. And we as humans, as long as we're progressing, we're happy. And so if we're not, as long as we always have something that we're shooting for, we're going to be happy. That's just how we work. So, and I think a lot of people need that, which is why a lot of people join Beachbody, is because it's like a place where you like can set stuff to like accomplish, and you can be happy doing it. So showing up to that, that's like one part of it. And then the next most important thing, number 2, is your social media. And same thing. It's all about consistency. You don't have to figure out how to be like a YouTube star, or how to make like amazing posts, or how to use iMovie, or you don't have to build a website or like do all that stuff. But for the last 2.5 years, well, probably like 3 years, I've been posting on social media every single day. Do I think you have to post every single day? Yes, you do. If you're serious about building this. If you think about, like, for example, there's a girl who's an avid People magazine reader. Every Wednesday a new People magazine comes out. She goes to the newsstand and she buys it every single week. And then what happens is 1 week she shows up and it's not there. It's just they didn't come out with a new one. She's going to switch to a different magazine that she can count on. It's the same thing. So I post every single day. And in the beginning, I posted at least 3 times every single day. You can get away with there's a difference between if you're just going to post fluffy stuff, surface level stuff, don't even waste your time, because that's when you get annoying and it's not authentic. Things like And I talked about this, and there's another training video in Team Hear Me Roar about how to find your voice on social media that you should watch if you're interested in it. It's really simple. It's like steps. It's good. But, you know, like you could post a photo of like a photo of you flexing. Like, did you get your workout in today? I did. Like, no one, like, if you think about that, that doesn't really make people feel good. Because what if they didn't get their workout in? Now they just feel like crap. And it's okay if you do this or have done this, because I used to, like, that's kind of stuff I posted. That's what I saw other coaches posting, not successful ones. But, so, you know, if it's just one post about like, hey, I just got off a call with my team. It was super great. Like, this is what I'm doing with my life. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm really grateful. This is what happened today. I can't wait to wake up tomorrow, and whatever, you know, but just something that, I don't know, I always try to draft my posts with a little bit more depth. So that's one thing. Your social media is your business front, and it will work for you if you consistently build it every single day. So if you're the kind of person, and I've been meaning to tell you guys this forever, so if you're the kind of person that just shares stuff, you know, all that like funny videos and memes and BuzzFeed stuff, you probably shouldn't do that anymore, even though you might like it and think it's funny. Like, save those videos. You know, you can tap on them and click save, and you can go watch them later. But if you're serious about like building a business, you could post about personal stuff that has nothing to do with working out. That's totally cool. But it's just not very appealing, you know, to go look at someone's newsfeed. Like, I try to make mine look like a magazine almost. Just like eye-catching stuff that's like pretty good quality photos. I don't put like a ton of effort into it. I don't spend all my time doing it. So don't do that. On Instagram, avoid putting Beachbody Coach on anything, because you are your brand. Beachbody has nothing to do with who you are. It doesn't. It's just what you're doing. So in your Instagram bio, don't put like Team Beachbody Coach. Especially don't put your link to your Beachbody website in there. It just looks bad. These are like things I picked up as a brand new coach that I saw other people doing, or I heard, and I was like, okay, like I got to change that. You know, I can't do that. So yeah, social media is super important because it'll work for you. You know, even if you skip a day of inviting people, which you shouldn't, but if you posted that day, you're doing something to move your business forward. So the third thing that is most important is, it's a tie. I'm not going to say, like, these aren't in any order, but the third thing that's most important is what you do behind the scenes. So I'm going to use another analogy because I'm kind of obsessed with analogies at the moment. So there's two doctors, right? So we're talking about behind the scenes, you know, what you do behind the scenes. So there's two doctors. Hang on a sec. Let's see. Okay, I don't want to go into that. Anyway, so what you do behind the scenes as far as the conversations you're having in private, if they don't, so you have to be doing the work. So let me think of one, like an analogy. So so say there's like a new painting business or something, and back when, like, you know, in the phone book, and they do use the phone book for advertisements, and they're advertising, you know, their services or whatnot, and their location and their phone number. It's great advertisement, and it's there every week. You know, maybe they're pumping in stuff to the weekly local newspaper, and they have great reviews. You know, they're just like, you know, hitting everyone left and right in these different areas. And you go to the business finally, because you need some paint. And you go and you walk into the business, and you know, the ads were amazing. They were beautiful. There's all these positive like reviews just raving of their services. And you walk in, and it's kind of dim, and no one's at the desk. And there's not even like a bell or anything, or a sign saying that they'll be back later. And like no one's sitting there. It's just completely empty, and you're like, okay, this is really weird. And you know, you're like looking for help and stuff, and like no one's no one's there. And so you just turn around and you walk out because you're super confused. So that's the same as this business. So if you aren't having, except the difference is that people aren't going to walk into your business. You have to walk into their door. So like if you're not having those private one-on-one conversations with people, 80% of your time needs to be talking to people. It's all about people. That's all it is. 80% of your time. If you're sitting and you're like, you're trying to like work on your business and you're like, I don't know what to do. Go talk to someone, add a new person. This is, and there's like specific steps for during your power hour that'll tell you how to do this and where to go. Like on Facebook, it makes it really simple. But you can go to the birthdays and go wish those people happy birthday and send them a message and say, hey, how have you been, if you know them. I usually go to people who have liked my post. So I'll go to people who have liked my post that day and I'll pull up all the likes and I'll go and I'll individually message them. So if you're not, ask them how they're doing for, just talking about normal stuff. And then a lot of the times, because your business storefront and your advertising or whatever is so consistent and your lifestyle, you're sharing your lifestyle so much, they'll usually be like, what are you doing? Like, you look really happy or you look really healthy. Like, what's going on? What are these challenge groups you're talking about? That's usually what happens. But if they don't, then I just ask them, hey, I'm starting a new challenge group, blah, blah, blah. Wanted to see if you join. There's scripts for that in the team group, so I'm not going to get into what you say. That's another call. But do you see what I mean? So you have to have the storefront and you have to be putting the work in on the inside, or else there's going to be a disconnect and you're just going to be like wasting your time. So that's the next most important thing. And that's like the hustle, that's like sometimes you don't feel like doing it. Sometimes you don't feel like talking to people. But once you get in the group to it, you're like, okay, people aren't that bad. And the cool thing is you get to choose who you work with. So if someone's mean to you or someone's negative, don't try to like be like, make them, don't be Captain Beachbody and like tell them why they should do what you're doing, and just move on. There's plenty of people that are open to being a part of a community and working on themselves. So that's the next most important thing. And lastly, I'll leave you with, I think the fourth most important thing in this is your personal development. Aside from working out, but I guess that could be the fifth one. So your personal development. So I want to talk a little bit about what personal development is, because people can do personal development, but it doesn't mean it's going to work for you. And there's different kinds of it. And we have a long list of different like kinds you can start with, but it's really good to start your day. I usually try to start my morning out with it. And you can either use Audible or you can read a real book. And I'm really busy, so I usually like to take advantage of the time that I'm in my car instead of listening to like gangster rap music, which I still do sometimes. I'll turn on Audible and I'll listen to like a book on audio, and I'll just listen to it, and I'll listen to it twice or 3 times. So you can literally turn your car into like a moving university, and just become really smart while you're driving around. So that's one thing, and you have to be intentional about it. So I don't know what books you guys are reading, but You Are a Badass is one that a lot of people start with, and that's really great because she drops a lot of truth bombs, and it's so simple, but you're like, yes, I get that. That's so true. I needed to hear that. So that's a really great one. And the cool thing is all of this works together, you guys. So you can make this so simple and not time consuming. Like what you're reading in your personal development book, you can post that on your social media. And, like a little quote, and you can post it with your sweaty workout selfie, and it can just be like really you and fun. And so there's that kind of personal development that's like kind of fluffy, feel good stuff. And then there's the business side of things, which I think everyone should do. So like I think GoPro is the best book to read at first, or The Compound Effect. So, and we have a list of these in the group, but GoPro is a lot about network marketing, and it's very network marketing, but it's so helpful. And what I really like about the reason I read personal development is because it really reinforces like all these things that we hear and like tells you why it's important. Because sometimes I'll be like, so really, like, do I really need to make a, like spreadsheet of like all my contacts, or is that a waste of time? Do I really need to do that? And then in GoPro, it's like, yes, you do, because it helps you empty out your brain and unload that info, so you can like stop just focusing on those people and banking on those people to join you. And then you can fill your mind with new people, but you still have this, you still have a list going. And I never thought about it that way, and so it just helped me hear that. So I like business stuff. I've learned a ton about business, a ton about personalities. I've gone to seminars. If you know who Tony Robbins is, I went to his Unleash the Power Within event, which I really encourage you all to do. I went, I was like a year and a half. I think I was already 2 years. Yeah, it was my 2-year anniversary when I went. And Amy, your upline, Amy, she's like, you need to go to Tony. You need to go to Unleash the Power Within. And the ticket was like $500-$600, and it was in LA. And I'm in Oregon. And I was like, I don't really have the money to do that. And she's like, no, you need to go. You have to go do that. I'm like, okay, fine. And so I figured it out, and I went, and it was so cool. It was so, so great. And I really think it helped me a ton. And I'm just like now starting to see that. But it's this 4-day, like really intense, like personal development seminar. And I won't get into it too much. But we walked across fire, and just really helped me overcome my fears, which I dealt with hardcore in the beginning, and that was really rough. So I'm going to wrap it up, and thank you guys for jumping on. At the end of the day, you're the most important person here, especially if you're new. You're the most important person. So one thing about goals, like we always talk about, first 30 days, hit Emerald, earn $100, help 3 people. The reason that, like, that's really, the way I look at goals is they should be, if you're serious, they should be a non-negotiable. So, and that's what I've learned from personal development and from listening to Tony Robbins, is that a lot of these things are like a decision you make in an instant. Like when I decided to reach diamond rank in my business, it wasn't just because I was like good at it. I was like, I'm going to be diamond. There's like no other alternative. And it has to be that way with Emerald. If you want those free leads, you're like, I'm going to be Emerald. I'll sign up my mom, I'll sign up my friend, my kindergarten teacher, I'll sign up my, whoever, and you just make it happen. And when you have bigger goals, especially with weight loss, and that's what's cool about business, like fitness, business, like they're all the same. It's the same exact thing, the way you look at it and approach it. So if you like are trying to lose weight, or like want to lose 20 pounds, goals are really great, especially to have like a deadline, and you can use this with your clients, but like, I want to lose 20 pounds by July. And it's like, that's really great. And the point of goals, and I think some people get so freaked out about setting goals because they're so used to in the past, they're so used to setting them and then like not reaching them. So they like avoid setting them altogether for that fear of disappointment. But the whole point of goals isn't necessarily to like reach them on that specific date. It's so you give your all into something and all of your energy, and you're really passionate and driven about it, and you work until like 11:59 that night, the night before your deadline, to make it happen. And even if you don't get it, who you become in that process of chasing it is really what it's all about. And a lot of the times it has nothing to do with your goal, like the thing that you really need. And then all of a sudden you might lose 15 pounds or 20 pounds, but then you realize it was never really about that. And it's the same in your business. If you have a goal to hit Emerald, or to hit, or maybe you want to quit your job. Like that was my huge motivation, is I didn't like the job I had. And I was just tired of not being recognized. And I just was tired of feeling like I wasn't like adding any value to anything that I was passionate about. So that like kept me going. And even though it took me a really long time, what I realized is it was never about quitting my job. It was never about making money. It was about who I had to become to do that. And so, yeah. So I just wanted to leave with you guys with that. And again, I really appreciate you coming on. And one thing too, in our team group, I really want to like bring the energy to the group. So whether it's a challenge group or Team Hear Me Roar, the best way that you could, add value to everyone is to post your questions in the group and post things that are happening for you. So if there's things that are exciting that are happening, post about it. If you're confused about something or have a question, or if you're talking to someone and you don't know what to say, post a screenshot in the group, because that's going to help other people feel more comfortable to either A, answer their question or answer your question, which is going to help them become more knowledgeable and just more confident. If we can answer each other's questions, we'll all become more confident, and it'll just be a really great environment. So, all right, I hope you guys have a good night. And just a reminder, the team Set Your Soul on Fire is tomorrow evening. I don't know if Amy, it's a call. So it's not a webinar. So you just call like on your phone. So I don't know if Amy's hosting it or who's hosting it. I know that they're doing away with that call soon. I don't know why. But there's a ton of recorded calls from like the past 3 years in the file section. And that's one thing I did as a new coach, was like listen to some of those replays. So there's a lot of good stuff in there. But yeah, if not, it's the 27th. So there's 3 days left in the month to hit Success Club. So if you know anyone who wants to start on a challenge pack, I would lock that in. 22-minute hard corpse is on sale right now. It's a great program. I just started it. It's with Tony Horton. It's 22 minutes. It's a lot of fun. And I think there's some other ones, but I can't think of them right now. So yeah, anyway, I hope you guys have a good night, and I will see you later.